Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into a topic that can be a real headache for any business owner: getting paid. We're going to break down exactly how you can legally and, more importantly, effectively recover unpaid invoices in Romania.
So, are you looking at a stack of unpaid invoices right now? Maybe you're a local business feeling that cash flow pinch. Or perhaps you're an international creditor trying to figure out a system in another country. If any of that sounds familiar, you are in the right place. Understanding this process is all about protecting your bottom line.
Okay, here's the plan for our explainer. We'll start by looking at the problem itself, then we'll get into the specifics of Romanian law. After that, we'll walk through the recovery process step by step, cover some key strategies for success, and finally, we'll hit some of the most frequently asked questions. All right, first up, let's frame the challenge here: the unpaid invoice problem. You can think of this part as your guide to getting back on solid financial ground. So, what do we actually mean by debt collection in Romania? Well, it's the official legal process for recovering money that's owed to you. It covers everything from a simple, friendly reminder all the way up to formal court action, and it's all governed by a set of rules called the Civil Procedure Code.
Now that we know what we're talking about, let's get into the rules of the game. This brings us to the core of Romanian debt law, or as I like to call it, the rules of recovery. Now, this is a really crucial distinction to understand. The law splits debts into two main categories. You've got commercial debts on one side, that's business-to-business stuff like unpaid invoices. On the other side, you have personal debts, which involve individuals. The legal path you need to take is different for each, so knowing which bucket your debt falls into is the absolute first step. And here it is, the legal engine behind the whole process, the Civil Procedure Code. This is the official rulebook. It tells you exactly how to file a claim and how to use legal shortcuts like payment orders. And importantly, it's designed to be fair. It protects the rights of both the person who is owed money and the person who owes it. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. Section 3, the debt recovery process. This is your practical, step-by-step guide. The process is actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, get your ducks in a row. Identify the debts by gathering all your paperwork, invoices, contracts, you name it. Step 2, you send a formal demand letter. This is the official, hey, it's time to pay up notice. If you get no response, that's when you move to Step 3. You file for a payment order. So, what exactly is this Ordin de Plată I just mentioned?
Well, think of it as a legal fast lane. It's a simplified court procedure that's specifically designed for clear-cut debt cases. It can get you a legally binding payment order much, much faster than going through a full-blown lawsuit. It's a very powerful tool.
And this really gets to the heart of it. You can send emails, you can make phone calls, but if those friendly attempts don't work, the law is pretty clear. Legal action isn't just an option, it becomes necessary. You have to be ready to escalate things.
You know, the best way to deal with unpaid invoices is to avoid them from the get-go, right? And you can definitely do that with a few proactive steps. Make sure your payment terms are crystal clear from day one. Follow up the minute an account becomes overdue. Keep all your documents organized, and always keep the lines of communication open with your clients. Now, here's a pro tip for more serious situations. Sometimes you can ask the court for what are called interim measures. This could mean freezing the debtor's assets to make sure the money is actually there when you win your case. It's a strategic move to protect your claim while the legal process plays out. All right, let's pull all of this together into our next section, Key Strategies for Success. This is the stuff you really need to remember. If there's one thing you take away from this, let it be this number: 3. You have 3 years from the due date to take legal action. This is called the statute of limitations. If you wait any longer, you could lose your right to collect that debt for good. So, to sum it all up, a successful recovery really boils down to these 4 keys. 1. Keep flawless records. 2. Act fast, well within that 3-year window. 3. Have a basic grasp of the legal framework we've been talking about. And 4, and this one is huge, seriously consider working with lawyers who do this stuff every single day.
But what if your debtor is in Romania and you aren't? All of a sudden, you're dealing with language barriers, completely different laws, and tricky jurisdiction questions. This is where having expert multilingual support isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely essential.
Okay, let's wrap this up with a quick-fire round to tackle some of the most common questions people have. Section 5, your questions answered. First question, and it's a big one we hear all the time. Can I actually use that Ordin de Plată for something as common as an unpaid invoice?
And the answer is a huge, resounding yes. That's literally what it was designed for. The Ordin de Plată is the court's streamlined process for exactly this kind of clear-cut, undisputed claim.
Okay, next up. What exactly does a bailiff do? In Romania, the official term is Executori Judecătorești. What's their role in all of this? Think of them as the enforcement arm of the court. Once you have a judgment, the bailiff is the state-authorized official who makes sure it's actually carried out. If the debtor doesn't pay up on their own, the bailiff is the one with the legal power to seize assets to settle the debt.
And for our last question, which really brings it all full circle, why should I hire a Romanian law firm? Can't I just do all of this myself?
Well, look, while the process might sound simple on the surface, the legal system is filled with complexities. Hiring experts means you get clear guidance, you often achieve faster results, and most importantly, you know that every step you take is fully compliant with the law. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. When your company's cash flow is on the line, is trying to go it alone really a risk worth taking?